Hi everyone, it's Haley and welcome back to my channel. Today I filmed this fun pink glam look. If you would like to see how it was created, then go ahead and keep watching. First, we're going to start off by priming our eyelids with the ColourPop No Filter Concealer. And then blending that out with the Real Technique sponge. Next, we're going to take the white shade from the James Charles palette and set the concealer that we just put down, so that way we have a base for the eyeshadow. Once the base is set, we're going to take this pale pink shade from the James Charles palette and buff that into the crease. It's not very pigmented, but it leaves a nice little bit of color for a transition shade when we go in with the next colors. Next, we're dipping into this After Hours palette by the brand Bad Habit into the pink shade and buffing that into the crease as well. It's just going to deepen up our look a little bit. And then once that pink shade is the kind of tone that you would like, go into the deeper pink shade in that palette and buff that into the crease as well, a little bit more precise, and just continue to build those colors up until you like the way that it turns out. I just go back and forth between those three pink shades and continue to build them up and blend them together until I get the shade and the color that I like. Once you're finished with the pink shades and you like the color that it made, you take some more concealer. Here I just used the ColourPop No Filter Concealer and I cut the crease again. I kind of explained how I do this in my last video, so if you'd like to see how I do, you can go ahead and watch that one. Once I like the way that the cut crease looks, I go back in with those pink shades and continue to blend it out so there's not a harsh line, just until I like the way that it looks. And then taking the shimmery pink shade and putting that all over where I put the concealer. Next, you're going to take those pink shades yet again and blend everything together so there's no harsh lines and it looks seamless. I know there is a lot of blending, but that's kind of just something that goes along with the eyeshadow looks if you want it to look good and seamless. I did my liner and lashes off camera just because I struggled doing them on a phone screen and really showing you how I do it. And then I went in with my Tarte moisturizer that I like to use as a face primer just to make sure that there's no dry patches on my skin, because I do have super dry skin, and just rubbing that all over my face. And then I went in with the CoverGirl Glow Lotion, I'm not exactly sure what it's called, just to give myself a little bit more of a glow to the skin. And then going in with the Physicians Formula Healthy Foundation again. I find that this is the only foundation that I use that doesn't stick to my dry patches. So I do use it pretty much every single day, and you'll probably see it in almost every single video. Like I said, I kind of just put that all over the face because I like a more full coverage kind of look. And then I took my Real Technique sponge again and just blended it all out. Once the foundation is all blended out, I take my No Filter ColourPop concealer again and some Tarte Shape Tape as well, and blend those all together just because the ColourPop one's a little too light for me. It kind of gives me a white cast under my eyes, so I take the Tarte Shape Tape and blend those together. Again, I'm just putting those under my eyes and on the high points of my face and on that pimple that I have that I still can't seem to get rid of, and then blending it out with that same sponge that I used for the foundation. Once everything was blended, I went in with this contour stick. I know it looks a little bit warm for me, but once it's blended out, I really do like the way that it looks. So I just put that all over my face and then blended that out again with the Real Technique sponge. I really do like this sponge. I think it does a really great job, and it's about a fraction of the price of a beauty blender, so I definitely recommend these. Once all the cream products are blended out, I take my number 7 setting powder and set everywhere that I put a cream product, mostly just where my concealer is at, because I do take my bronzer and set the cream contour with the bronzer, so you'll just see me putting that kind of everywhere that I put the concealer on. And then taking my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. This stuff is absolutely amazing. I've been using it for years and I really love it. I'm just putting this everywhere that I put the cream contour to kind of set it and to give my face a little bit more warmth. And then taking that sponge again with some more setting powder and cutting the contour that I did to make it look a little bit sharper. I also just take that sponge and kind of pat everywhere to make sure everything's blended in and there's no harsh lines with the bronzer. Next, I'm taking my Milani blush in Luminoso and putting that on the apples of my cheeks. And then going in with my favorite highlight of all time is the Mary Luminizer by The Balm and putting that on the high points of my cheeks and kind of all over my face. Once the face makeup is done, I use my Milani setting spray and set the entire face. And then taking all of the pink shades that I had used on my eyelid and buffing that on the lower lash line with the dark one going first, and then I used the kind of the middle pink shade and blended that out with that, and then I went in with the super pink shade in the James Charles palette and blended it all out to make sure that there were no harsh lines underneath my eyes. Next, I'm just putting on some pink eyeliner in my waterline and attempting to put some mascara on the lower lash line. It's really hard to do again in a phone screen, so I eventually had to move to my mirror, but I tried to show you what I was doing. Next, I went in with these two Maybelline lipsticks and just put those on because I like the way that they look, and that completed the look. If this is something that you enjoy, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Make sure you subscribe so that way you're updated for my future uploads.